Studio check.
Frequencies check.
We are live on air.
You are listening to the In Fact Blessing the Airwaves. Take the journey into the world of sports, news, entertainment, while embracing the hottest beats on the planet. Rocking the mind, body, and with energy, electricity, and a splash of controversy. Now, without further ado, it's our pleasure to bring to you
the biggest show in the world.
The biggest show in the world.
The biggest show in the world. The Sbtv Nation.
1, 2, 3, 4, hit!
It's time to move. It's time to move. Gotcha. It's time to move. It's time to get up and dance.
Sbtv Nation, it's your boy The Hat and your boy The Dream in the house. Got the old school popping right there. Boy, that's some feel-good music right there from a while back.
Yeah, you know what, man? I always make fun of you with these tracks. I always say that The Dream is at the club raising the roof to this stuff each and every night. But you know what, man? At the end of the day, this puts a smile on my face, dude. I really like this track a lot.
Some of them old tracks, I mean, that's one of them beats that was recycled and generated a bunch of times. They really did that one hot as far as I was concerned. Any of you cats that got any age on you and can remember that track, it was an absolute banger at the club.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Playing it again, just hearing it in the background had me all like kind of moving around here in the room doing my thing a little bit. Love it.
Good morning to you, Dream. It's Championship Sunday. And there is one team that I didn't expect to be in this position, but you know what? They're turning a little bit of heads with the victory over Pittsburgh last week, and that's the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And I am going to open up right out the gate because I'm not going to hold any surprises with you. If the Jags don't get murdered, okay, embarrassed, ran the hell out of Foxwoods, I may change my name from The Dream.
Foxwoods? We had the casino
Foxborough.
last night?
I'm sorry, Foxborough. Wow, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, all of a sudden, you know, everybody's talking about Tom Brady having a hand injury. You got to love that.
Guys, like, really? You know what I'm saying? Please, can we please? I love it. Everybody, it's every season, every year. I remember last year in the Super Bowl, Atlanta was going to win. People were struggling.
Yeah.
You know, the Patriots, just stop. Stop yourself now.
Exactly.
Okay? Stop yourself now. If you're not going to bet the Patriots, don't bet.
You know what? Well, a lot of people, I see a lot of people, you know, claiming that the Jags are going to win the money line, kid. Money line in the Jags.
I know because the Jags, I heard it. I loved it because the media got it so souped up. The janitor of that team that has the ingredient to beat the Patriots. Okay, so the Jags are that team that has the ingredient to beat the Patriots. Because what's that ingredient? Because would they remind people of the Giants? I mean, because they don't remind me of the Giants. All right? And, they remind people of the Ravens? They don't remind me of the Ravens. So, I don't know. People are trying to make it out. The media, ESPN, you know, NFL, they want to fuel this. They want your interest. They want you to watch the games. They want you to be involved in it. Vegas obviously wants you to wager on it. They want to create the buzz, and I get all that. But to me, it's asinine based on the tenure of the New England Patriots to even question this. The question that I have first and foremost about the game is, why the hell isn't Mike Tomlin fired right now?
Oh, absolutely, dude. Well, you know what? I mean, in that particular game with the Pittsburgh Steelers, I mean, Steelers fell down, 21-0? And they were just never able to climb back. Now, if you just take away one of them touchdowns, Pittsburgh advances.
My thing is, okay, and I did this during the week. I tweeted about it. The Jacksonville Jaguars, so people are talking about their defense being good, blah, 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 blah. Please understand, they gave up 545 yards to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, I know the New England Patriots are not as offensively gifted athletically as the Pittsburgh Steelers, okay? Antonio Brown, to me, is the best wide receiver in the game. Hands down. Proved it last week. the stuff that dude does is just amazing. AB is just off the chain ridiculous. And they played their tails off. I feel so bad for those 3 Steeler players, and the offensive line too, that played their tails off. You talk about bonehead, dumb play calling and coaching in that game and ruining that game. Give me about give me 80% of the other NFL coaches in the NFL. Give them that game in the fourth quarter, and I can guarantee you that they can figure out a way to win that game. Only Mike Tomlin could lose that game for them like that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, you know what? I know a lot of people, including myself, got beat in that game.
Yes,
and it's been a very, very good run for me. But you know what? The Steelers, that was a little thorn in my side, brother. And
I got beat in that game. I was lucky, though. We did have the Vikings, and we'll get into that story last week, too. I did have the Vikings. We talked in the show, and I talked myself into the Vikings. And I know the cats are going to say, oh, well, New Orleans had won the game and would have lost. The Vikings were lucky. However, when Keenum threw his interception, the Vikings had dominated the Saints.
Oh, big time.
Dominated the
big
Saints.
Time.
When Keenum threw the interception, it kind of changed the dynamic of the game. But if anything, it looked like to me the Saints were going to steal the game.
Yeah, at the end, I mean, and they fell back. I mean, they fell down huge. I mean, it was 16-0. You just think that, hey, you know what, this is going to be an ugly game. I'm out watching the game and just saying to myself, and this isn't going to happen. All of a sudden, the Saints get that one touchdown, and then Breeze had his way with them for a while. The thing is that you fall down early like the Saints and like Pittsburgh did last week. It's just so hard to overcome that. Unless you're like Breeze is one of the best. I mean, hands down, you got to give him a lot of credit for his resilience in the comeback. But you know what? It came down to one tackle at the end of the game that was the deciding factor and advanced the Minnesota Vikings. One tackle, dude. All you had to do was keep them in bounds. That's it.
I can't talk enough, though, and I don't want to take any luster from that. I just can't talk enough about the way the Pittsburgh Steelers bungled that game. I mean, I don't know how, if you're the Rooney family, I do understand, it is, Black History Month and, coming up on us. Martin Luther King's birthday was Monday, so obviously I had to be sensitive as far as firing Mike Tomlin in that situation. But I just can't understand, honestly, how you can keep Mike Tomlin, and there's like 3 spots that really bother me. There's a 4th and inches spot that we should have called a quarterback sneak, that a quarterback sneak was not called. I'm really bothered about that on the 4th and inches, okay? Then there's the blocked punt that the Pittsburgh Steelers get the ball back, okay? This is in the third quarter, middle third quarter. They block the punt, get the ball, good field position. They call 3 run plays in a row as opposed to just going for the juggler. Let's go tie this game up and let's go, try to take the lead. Having all the momentum at this point would have really got them going. They don't capitalize on that. Call 3 run plays, and they get into another 4th down situation and have to go for it. Both of those situations, I believe that Ben Roethlisberger was able to pick up either one of those first downs on his own. The other thing about Big Ben, I know that Big Ben likes throwing everybody under the bus as well. I don't like that he takes ownership on some of the mistakes. Now, I always know that Ben Roethlisberger has never liked Todd Haley. That was not a great fit from the start. And I agree with Todd Haley's play calling being dreadful and putrid. I don't agree with it either. However, Ben, with the tenure that he has and who he is as a Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback and his success and how long he's been there, could have, in those 2 situations, decided to override that and go for his own. I don't believe there would have been any issues and any repercussions behind it.
Yeah, probably not.
All right? Last but not least, the Pittsburgh Steelers still could have kicked the ball off, and they opted for an onside kick. And I remember being on the phone with B-Mac at the time, and I'm like, Brian, I don't think that Tomlin realizes that he has 2 timeouts and a 2-minute warning, because the Steelers look just like they were in panic mode. I, to this day, cannot understand why you don't kick the ball off, try to get the stop. I mean, your offense, all you needed to do, you knew the Jags were going to run the ball. It's not like they were going to throw it in that spot.
Yep.
They're trying to run the ball, get the clock done, and get out of there. You kick the ball deep. You ask your defense. Their defense basically has to make one play, and that's the third down play where the Jags may opt to try to throw the ball on third down. But I don't believe that the Jags. I just don't think that they would have been successful. It would have been a panic spot. You gotta like your chances against that versus your chances of trying to recover the onside kick. It just was a bumble of epic proportions. And I'm sorry, you hate seeing anybody fire, but these guys are millionaires. Okay, I hate seeing a guy that makes $30,000 a year fired. Okay, these guys are millionaires. They're fine if they're fired. They can go do whatever. I have got to ask for Mike Tomlin to turn in his keys, turn his headset, and go in another direction.
Right on, Dream. Exactly. Good morning to everybody. We're the Sbtv Nation. I see a bunch of people already on here back and forth with us, including some beautiful female photos. Thank you to Fast Eddie. Thank you to Winning Picks, as always. Got everybody rocking and rolling here. Dream.
Fast Eddie, stop with the Jags. Don't do it. Stop. They gave up 545 yards. They only sacked Roethlisberger twice. They only sacked him twice. And if you think that Blake Bortles is going to put up 45 points against New England Patriots, you are doing the dope.
Right on. Exactly. All right, man. So what do you want to do? You want to get right into it, or how do you want to handle this today,
No.
Dream?
Before we go there, I got to move over the hoop. I got to talk about the round ball player.
Well, I did slide you to Rockets last night.
You did slide me. The headache game of the evening is the Rockets on your part. But I don't want to talk about the Rockets. I don't want to talk about the Warriors. I want to talk about your boy, LeBron James.
Oh, crazy. You know what, Dream? I think I'm good with them until after the All-Star break.
Oh, no, I think I'm good with them, period. Son, it's bad.
It is bad. I know.
I mean, it's not even like we've seen them play bad, or we've seen LeBron have a stint where they're bad. But this team right here, they remind me of the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah?
One good player and then a bunch of guys that maybe was good or used to be good, and now they put all these people together, and the chemistry is like horrible. And I know Cat's like, don't go crazy. And I want to feel that way about don't go crazy, but the way I'm watching him lose and the way I'm watching him get beat is a completely different landscape of anything I've seen them do before this season. When I watched their five out there, with the exception of LeBron, I did see a bright spot with Korver, maybe one or two games. But other than that, I don't see anything positive. Kev Love does his same Kev Love thing of sometimes Kev Love wants to play and then sometimes he just wants to hang out.
Dude, I don't know, man. I mean, I look at it and I agree with you. It's different. It's a different type of losing, Dream.
Dude, they got beat by the Thunder last night.
I know.
By 20-something points at home. And the Thunder, by the way, the Thunder's booty. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they got the three guys, but once you get out of that three, the Thunder's a mess.
I know they are, man. Yep.
You got to have some type of explanation about what's going on. I don't know that they're coming out the East.
I just don't know who's going to beat them. That's the thing. I mean, I got to.
The Celtics.
Nah, I don't think so. I mean, maybe. Well, the thing is, the problem is.
Even the Raptors had. as bad as that just sounded.
It's tough, Dream. I mean, if they don't have home court advantage in the Eastern Finals or the Eastern, in the Eastern playoffs, period. I could see them having a problem.
What's up with your boy? Look, can somebody explain to me how
Crowder, your boy.
Oh my God, son!
Crowder's brutal.
What is he? He just runs up and down the court.
He does. You know what?
It's just like jogging.
He doesn't know. He has no identity on the team. He doesn't know what he's doing there. And
it's
you know
like
what?
Jogging. He's just jogging out there.
And you know what? You package all these players up for Ty Lue, and you think he's not a good captain either.
Oh, don't even get – see, this is why, you know what I mean? coach, because especially when you keep moving in a lot of personnel. And it ain't even about it being a captain. Everybody's on eggshells because of LeBron. LeBron has created kind of his own catastrophe within a sense.
Yep.
That's why you need to be a player and you need to allow the coaching staff to coach. Even if you disagree with certain things, allow them to coach. You can't have a player coach in this era, or at least with these personalities and this particular guy. Because the other thing is, LeBron's getting that prima donna thing, kind of like a little bit of what Kobe Bryant had, that I don't think people are all that excited about playing with him.
Oh, wow. I disagree with that because they've all come.
Oh, then what's his name? Why did Kyrie leave?
Kyrie wanted to be his own guy. I think that was more ego than anything else. He wanted to be the guy. He's never going to be the guy playing with LeBron. It just wasn't going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
But he's not really the guy on Boston. Do you think he's the guy on Boston?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what? As far as ball handling skills, I believe Kyrie is probably one of the best, if not the best, at dribble penetration. He's phenomenal. I mean, the guy is just, you've seen him just make cats look silly going to the hoop. You know what I'm saying? So
I think that LeBron has a positive outlook on a B-level basketball player. So meaning J.R. Smith, guys, journeyman that's played at a couple other teams. But when it comes to an A-level star, kind of like Kevin Durant going and playing with Golden State, like LeBron is not attracting another superstar of that magnitude to come and play with him. Is the point I'm trying to make. I don't feel like another superstar player, which I think this was a problem with Kobe too, wants to come and enter that dynamic and deal with the personality conflicts and all that rest of the stuff that comes with it of playing with a LeBron James. That's just my opinion from looking at this from an outside perspective.
Okay. All right, well, we'll see, man. I mean, it's going to make it for an interesting next few years, considering the fact that, at some point, isn't his contract up over in Cleveland?
Yeah, I believe it's this year. I believe he can go out. He can get out next year. And I see him, maybe going to the Crafters.
I don't know about that. Sir Mott is telling me maybe him going to Houston.
Nah, I ain't gonna go to. I bet you he ain't going to Houston. They don't want him. He's not him. And Marlon, I agree with you 100% with the whole don't compare LeBron to MJ. Just don't. And I agree. Don't. Matter of fact, just stop the MJ. When we get an MJ comparison, we'll know when we see it.
Yeah.
Because it just is nothing to compare. I don't care what anybody says. And, what happens is a lot of us, that saw MJ play are, getting older. And you got a new younger generation that's never seen him play. And they're not going to look. Listen, the average cat is not going to look up no film of a guy that played years ago. So you can forget that. So people are just going to say that these guys are better because they never saw what MJ did and how he did it. But we all know the truth.
Right on, man. Right on. All right, Dream. Well, you know what? Looking at it here, and we're getting ready for some football.
I know you are.
And I'm pretty excited about it, man. So, you know what? I think without further ado, I think we need to get into these games because I'm looking at some conflicting things.
You ain't want to talk about Duke?
No.
Your boy is Duke. You ain't want to give me a little shout out about my squad?
You know what? I got news for you.
That look outrageous.
Nah, I don't know about them. No. Yo, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now who may emerge in this year's collegiate March Madness basketball tournament.
Let me hear this.
Fat Hugs and Press Virginia.
Son,
listen, Press Virginia is incredible, and I got news for you.
I got no confidence.
We've talked about the dynamic point guard, right? We've talked about the point guard position. Javon Carter is the bomb, man.
He is nice. No,
he's
nice.
Great. He's
But his
good.
Hugs at the helm, man. Nah, you can be Coach K versus Hugs. I'm taking Coach Kissel every time. I'm sorry.
I don't know, man. My money's on Press Virginia this year. I think they're gonna do their thing. I think this is their year. I really do.
Duke, man, Duke looks to me. I mean, I'm looking at him. It's scary. Duke is scary good right now.
All right. Well,
Duke is scary good. His rotation is great. His talent is great. Duke is very, 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 very scary.
we shall see, man. We shall see.
And by the way, and I just want to let you guys know something about Kentucky. They're horrible.
Did they lose yesterday?
Yeah, they did. Kentucky, but that Florida team.
No, the Florida team's good. Listen,
Florida's good,
they're
man.
good.
Florida's good, and they're very. You know what? Florida's very good on the road. Florida is very good and pesky on the road. I don't know why they haven't broken into the top 25 ranking or top 20, but they should be breaking any minute because that Florida team's good.
Oh, I agree with you. I watched them. I had them. What night was it? They played another SEC team, and I had them. And they cruised. It was a laugher.
Yeah, they struggled with Missouri, but they got the win. But Florida, I really like what I see. Play good basketball, team basketball. They're going to get their shit right by the NCAA tournament, and they will be a problem in that tournament as well. I really like what I see out of Florida. I also like what I've seen out of Arizona, but it is the out west thing, so I'm not going to go too crazy with them. Any other honorable mentions, real quick, with college hoop before we move forward with the football?
No, I'm just looking at Press Virginia.
Don't forget DeVille.
Oh, how bad is UConn? Oof.
UConn's, by the way, so Villanova's 20-point win over the UConn Huskies is not that impressive because UConn stink.
They're terrible, man. Absolutely.
They stink. They
Right
stink.
Right
Bad, awful stink.
Terrence Mack's telling me about the Tar Heels. I don't know about that.
Yeah, T-Mac. No. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself.
And it was Arkansas that Florida laid the smackdown on. And that was in cruise control the entire game, bro. It was in good shape. So.
Yeah, North Carolina, I watched them this season. It doesn't look good. I don't see it this year with them. Sorry. I don't. I don't like the way their dynamic is. I don't like the way they play ball. But don't get me wrong. There's a lot of growing between now and March, which is technically a month. But it's a lot of growing between now and March. And that doesn't mean that they can't turn it around. We have seen teams turn it around big time. I just have not really been impressed with what I've seen out of them.
Right on. Well, you know what? The other night, I had them -7, right, versus Clemson. Yep. And they're up, like, double digits. You know, like they did the whole first half, part of the second half. Then all of a sudden, they let Clemson, like, within 3 towards the tail end of the game. I'm like, dude, you got to be kidding me. What the hell? I had a money line and -7. They ended up winning by 8, luckily. Dude, don't ask me how that happened, but I was like screaming at the TV, man. It was nuts. But been doing some point spread work this year, Dream. A little bit.
Okay.
It's been a little up and down with that. Hasn't been crazy, but you know my propositions have been balancing that out. So it's all good. So what else would you like to get into before football, Dream?
Well, I think that's basically it. I don't know if you have any other basketball, NBA, or college basketball ideas. I mean, there's a couple games going off today. Really quick on the college basketball slate, you do have Rutgers at Michigan today. Michigan, cute team. I don't love them. Cute. That's going off. That NC State team, I'm not a big fan of NC State. You got Miami playing NC State. I'm not a big fan of that NC State team. You got my team Virginia's playing Wake Forest today. Virginia is good too.
Yeah, they're good. They got the defense.
That Kyle Guy kid is very good. Virginia is good. In fact, I think I won with Virginia last week. It was a quick look. Yeah, last week it was a throw-in at 6 o'clock. I clobbered, made back the Pittsburgh Steelers money with Virginia last week. This Virginia team, impressive, always plays good defense. One thing I'll give you, Virginia's coach, his defense is always on point.
Right on.
His team plays very good defense, so keep an eye out for them this season. I do like what I say. I mean, they're number 2 in the country, so not keep an eye out. They're definitely in your face. But I like anytime a team can play defense and play as a cohesive unit. I'd like to see a little bit more outside scoring with them. But outside of that, I'm really impressed with what they're doing. They're giving 9 today. I believe you can get that adjusted if you tinker with that, manipulate that line. It's a 6 o'clock Eastern Standard start game. So maybe after you take the Jags and get murdered, and you need to make that money back, you might want to look at Virginia.
Right on, man. Exactly. All right, dude. So I think it's that time.
No doubt.
It's that time to get into the NFL, guys. It's NFL Sunday. It's Championship Sunday. And I like the way they spread the games out, how they've been doing it each and every year. You got a 3 o'clock and you got a 6:40. And the first game on the ticket, and my beautiful mother.
I like last week's better, Hat.
Yeah?
The 1 o'clock, the 1 o'clock is better. That 3 o'clock, I don't like that time.
Well, my beautiful mother, who I love dearly, decided to do a family party today.
Oh, you always. That's you, son.
I know. And start it right at 3 o'clock, which is not the end of the world, I guess. Because what I'll do is I'll go there at 3, and I'll get out of there by the second game and get my ass to a bar so I can watch the NFC Championship.
That's you, son. Stop. You know you ain't going over. You're going to be... Hat hits me up with a, hey, you want to get together for the games, and then hits me with a, I don't know if I can shake it here.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know if you can shake it. How about just grab your keys and your phone and hop onto the whip player?
Yeah, right on. Well, are you jammed up today? What's your deal? For the second game.
I'm actually free. So,
all right. Well, you know what? It's written in stone. You and me, NFC Championship, 6:40 tonight.
All right.
We got to figure out where we're going to meet at.
Okay, I'm with that.
All right, sounds good, man. All right, so that's cool, man. So myself and the Dream will be out there screaming at the TVs.
Well, that's the good. I mean, to me, that's a competitive game. Okay, because I'm going. Look, in case you missed it and just tuning in, I'm going ham. Patriots are beating the Jags. Patriots, if you got 7.5, obviously buy it down a point to 6.5 or tease it or whatever you got to do. I got the Patriots. But listen, I don't care if Brady's hurt, okay? Because they could put the backup in and I think they still can beat the Jags. That's just how I feel. I'm being real. This is the Jacksonville Jaguars, y'all. Stop.
I know. I've been
It's Blake Bortles. Stop being manipulated by the same people who voted for Trump are taking the Jaguars money line.
Except for me. Dream, I really wish you would just stop for a minute and respect your president.
Don't fall for it,
all right,
please.
listen. I agree with you. I'm seeing I see -7.5.
I know.
-7. So it looks like there's some there's been some Jags money coming in light of the news of the Tom Brady potential stitches on his hand.
I love Brady got a hangnail.
Yeah.
And they're making it into a. And Belichick loves doing that.
He does. He's notorious for that.
Notorious.
Exactly. Well, you know what?
How fast ain't drinking the Kool-Aid?
Yeah. All right, man. I agree with you, but I think that, and I've been doing, some open parlay work, and it's been really strong for me. But I think I'm going to go with a New England Patriots on a money line, and then I'm going to put it together with the next game. But that's where I'm at, Dream. I'm gonna just basically play the Super Bowl matchup that I think is gonna be.
Okay.
And I'm New England Patriots all day. I mean, listen, I have not seen a one-on-one situation where Gronk is taken out of the game. I haven't seen it yet.
With nobody.
I mean, dude, listen, Gronk is like he's a specimen, man. I mean, this guy, just huge. He's got good hands. He knows how to get open. Unless you're doubling him up, I do have one super play on this game, but I'm going to tell you that I like the New England Patriots, and I believe that and it pains me to say it, I don't think they're winning the Super Bowl, but I think they're going to advance to the Super Bowl, and the New England Patriots win the game.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Because I just feel I'm trying to get myself up.
You got them winning the Super Bowl?
Of course.
All right.
Stop
all right. So you just gave it away, but okay.
They are not. Who is beating them out of what's left?
We'll talk about the next game.
Oh my God! All right, hold on. Wait, don't go anywhere. Because I want to ask you a question. Do you like the prop for the to actually score consecutive times for the Patriots?
Yeah, most likely, but that prop, you got to understand something. It's like heavy. It's minus heavy juice.
Okay. Minus heavy. All right.
Yeah,
okay.
like if you think it's going to be a close game back and forth,
Right.
then you always bet that there not to be 3 consecutive scores by one team. That's
Sure.
what you do. But when you think it's going to be a blowout, it's. I mean, if you look at it, 3 straight scores, you have to lay minus 220. So
Sure.
I'm not interested in that. Although I did it last week with the Pats, or when they. I'm sorry, I did it when they played Tennessee. What was that, last week? Right.
Right.
I did it then because it was Tennessee. I had a feeling that they were going to lay the smackdown on Tennessee. But
How about that over 2 in the quarter or the touchdown score for Ben Roethlisberger that I
oh yeah, no, you had a plus 150 on that.
murdered that.
Absolutely.
It was plus 170 at.
All right, so Jonesy's telling me first of all, Direct Sports Solutions saying Brady Gate, and then Jonesy's saying that if our boy has a cut on his grip, those can open up and make it almost impossible to throw good.
Okay,
There we
Jonesy.
go.
Good to hear from you.
There we go.
So go ahead and take the Jags and be salty as hell at the end of the day.
Right on. All right.
You've been betting against because Jonesy been betting against the Jags since one. Because you took I remember you took betting against the Pats. He took KC in the first week, and he had taken a couple other situations against the Patriots. So go ahead, do your thing. Go get the 9, and we'll talk to you at the end of the game. Listen, guys, my thing is, Belichick looks at this game. He's going to say, look, we're putting 8 in the box. We're not going to let Fournette run. We're going to make Blake Bortles beat us. I'm going to put a spy on probably Mercedes Lewis. And now let the Jags beat us with Blake Bortles and the wide receivers. And to me, that spells disaster from a defensive standpoint. Then from an offensive standpoint, like Hat said, they're just going to give you Gronk, a run. Gronk, Amendola. Gronk, anybody.
Yeah, right.
Gronk. A field goal. Gronk. You know what I mean? That's what it's going to be. So what's the Gronk prop, Hat?
Well,
You got a Gronk prop?
I'll pull it up in 1 second. All right, because we're all about props right here, and we're going back and forth. Well, while it's on your brain, hold on, let me pull it up. We're Gronkowski. Let's see. To score a TD is minus 105, so there's no. That's no good.
I like that.
You like that from the score TD?
I don't have a problem with that because I know he is.
All right, and then you got Gronkowski. Let's see, pass receptions over 5 minus 155. His under over on yards is 72.5. Interesting.
Very interesting.
72.5. I thought that's a little high for him, to be honest with you.
For yards, that is a little high. 72.5. I think that is a little too high. They expect Gronk to go ham.
They expect one.
Gronk going banana.
Yeah, they do.
They must be listening to the dream. Listen, y'all, just don't do it. All right? I'm telling you, if you believe in the Jags, just don't bet. Don't play yourself, because you're going to be in here later, and it's going to be like the Super Bowl last year. Cats that took Atlanta, you know what I mean? Counting their money, thought they was the bomb at the half.
Yeah.
Sending out little tweets, dream. Told you, I knew ATL, they had too much offense. And then at the end of the day, ripping up the tickets with an attitude. So just don't play yourself.
Right on. So there's just a little bit more homework I'm doing because I have another prop that I think is real interesting. And I'm just trying to pull it up, but I'm having a hard time here looking at sacks given up for each game. Now, offensively, if somebody could give me these stats on what these teams give up as far as sacks are concerned, I'd really appreciate that. But I can tell you this much. The sack total in this game is 4.5. Okay? Right. And the under 4.5 sacks, I believe, pays plus money. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take the sack total under because you know what? The Jags are second in the league and, going back to the regular season. In sacking the quarterback. However, you got Uncle Tom at the helm that never gets sacked. I mean, he throws a ball into the ground. You know that. Yep. Under 4.5 sacks is plus 110 on this game. I'm all about it. Because, you got Blake Bortles that scrambles. So he can grab that 1 yard if he gets hit in the backfield. And then you got Tom Brady that throws a ball on the ground every time he gets pressure.
Right.
I like the under 4.5 sacks. Plus 110. And I'm sure, dude, listen, 9 out of 10 books offer that proposition, guys. So, and you could actually, if you're on 5 dimes, you could actually get it up to 5 if you want. So if you get 5 sacks, it's a push. Under 5 minus 130. Something to take a look at, Dream.
Definitely something to take a look at. Hey, any thoughts on the total?
On the total, what is the total in this game?
I've got 45.5.
45.5. No thoughts, because you know what? The New England Patriots are more than capable of blasting the total.
Okay.
Any stretch of the imagination. I mean, and if anything, you know, you got to wonder what Blake Bortles is going to show up. You know, my challenge with the New England Patriots is that their secondary sucks. You know that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, passing yards allowed per game. Dream, 270 yards a game they give up, man. You know, and the good news for them is they got Blake Bortles at the helm here. So I just think that, you know, there's a potential of an over in this game, but not right away. I think maybe they're a little pensive. You know, you get Brady, who's, you know, trying to get into his groove. He's getting pressured. He's throwing the ball into the ground. You know, Blake Bortles is doing his thing, managing the clock a little bit. But at the end of the day, I think that this game in the second half will start. You'll start seeing some points. I'm not on this total at all. No interest in the total whatsoever. I like the prop. That's it.
All right.
All right. So that's where I'm at as far as this game is concerned. And you're all about the New England Patriots.
All about them.
All right. Sounds good. So let's move on to the next game, unless you got anything else to add with this one.
That's all I have. I don't have any more.
Next game on the ticket, guys, NFC Championship. Minnesota Vikings on the road, -3, with an under-over of 39 points. Dream?
Yes, sir.
The Minnesota Vikings will represent the NFC in the championship, and they will be playing at home in Super Bowl.
And I don't agree.
You do not agree.
I do not agree.
Talk to me.
Well, first of all, Philadelphia talked about their defense. Their defense has been very good this season. They've been able to shut down some of the better teams in the NFL. And I don't believe that Case Keenum and the Vikings offer a dynamic enough offense to answer this defense. I really like what the Philadelphia Eagles defense do. I also feel that Nick Foles last week came out of the conundrum that he was stuck in by the second quarter. He looked really bad in the first quarter, but he worked his way out of it. I believe his confidence level is up that much more. He's had one more game under his belt with that offense, one more week under his belt with the coaching staff to work on some situations. They are home. I believe he's going to game manage. That 1-2 punch of that run game is nice. I like what J.J. brought to the table last week. Of course, he did fumble. You can't do that. And I don't expect that to happen today. But that fumble with Blunt, they offset each other very nicely, very comparably. I believe the game's going to be very tight, probably a close game. I'm taking the Eagles.
You're taking the Eagles.
And then guess what? I got and as the icing on the cake hat, the cherry on top. Okay, I'm gonna use your own stuff against you. Home team dog on prime time.
I was gonna get into that. I hate betting against a home team underdog on prime time. I hate it.
Dog on prime time. I got the Twitter blasting right. I'm running around with the garlic on my neck and a crucifix.
Son, I got the 5-star tees.
Okay.
New England Patriots.
Yep.
Minnesota Vikings plus 3.5. Ooh. Oh.
And I'm more New England Patriots, Philadelphia Eagles home team dog at home plus 10.
Wow, plus 10. Okay. I
don't think you could. I think you could go either way, and you're probably good.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Game's gonna really be tight. You also may want to look at the under in that Eagle Vikings game too. If you're gonna get in a teaser, I don't like the under number by itself, but if you're gonna tease, I would definitely tease the 39 up. I think it's gonna be a really tight, hard-fought game. You also have the dynamic of a dome team in the Vikings playing outside versus the Eagles. You know, I'm telling you, I just really like what I saw of the Eagles last week. I saw, some good moves by them. I didn't like the waste. They did waste the timeout, which I thought might bite them in the behind. At the end of that game, they wasted the timeout, pretending that they were going to go for it on fourth down, which everybody in the country knew they weren't because they had no business doing it. But other than that bonehead decision, I do like what I've seen out of the coaching staff. I just don't think the Vikings offensively are going to bring enough to the table to shape what the Eagles defense can do. I feel like Case Keenum's going to be put in some situations he's not going to be comfortable with. And he showed last week he is a little bit prone to still make a dumb decision. Threw that ball off the back. That was an awful interception he threw last week.
They have. I mean, is Sam Bradford active?
Yes, he is.
Is Bridgewater active?
I don't believe Bridgewater is active. Sam Bradford, though, is active. He was active last week. Some discussions about it last week about him being active. Not that he's getting the start, but he is active. Right. And I don't believe that Bridgewater is active.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a really good question because you got to ask yourself if a quarterback goes down. If a quarterback goes down for the Philadelphia Eagles, who's next?
Oh, well, that's an issue. But Vikings aren't going with
Nate Sudfeld. That would be their backup if Nick Foles goes down.
Yes.
And, you take Bradford over Sudfeld any day of the week.
And I will add that should Nick Foles go down, then yes, the Eagles are going to be pickle. So, yeah, that's a good point to add. But I honestly, I've got to go with the Eagles in this situation. Just being home, having the ability to run the ball, which is huge. It takes a lot of pressure off your quarterback. That screen pass package, I love it. And the other thing I loved about the Eagles, too, they came out with some different packages, different plays, some things that they hadn't prototypically used all season long, some different wrinkles and different looks that they showed the Atlanta Falcons. Showed some preparation for that game. I expect them to have some different wrinkles in preparation for the Minnesota Vikings. I don't really like them, but I do like them a lot. I do like the Eagles in this game. I get it. I get what the Vikings bring. They got a good, hard-nosed defense. I just am not in love with this Viking offense. I'm not.
I don't think Philadelphia is going to have any potential scoring here, Dream. I am not impressed with this offense at all.
Well, the Phillies got the better field goal kicker.
Doesn't matter.
Still, yeah, sure.
You got to get down to the field to kick the damn field goal, brother.
Oh, you could get down there on punt returns, kickoff returns.
They put up Dream
interceptions, fumbles. There's a lot of ways to get a score.
You realize that this team has averaged 11 points a game in the last 3 games, right? And they've played
because they've got a brand new quarterback. 2 of the games didn't count. Stop. Come on. Don't do that.
All right. Put up 15 points against Atlanta.
Don't do that.
Minnesota Vikings are winning, guys. Put it in your pipe and smoke it. That's what's happening.
Wrong.
All right. Well, we'll see, Dream. I'm not going to wager against you because you never pay your dets, so you can forget that.
All right.
As far as the wind, as far as the weather, guys, you got like the perfect not storm today in both games. You got 47 degrees, sunny in New England, cloudy in Philadelphia.
It may be cold, though, for the Philly game at 6:40. I mean, it's not going to be frigid, but it'll be
game time temp, 47 here, bro.
So it's going to be a little cool. Could be a little cool.
Yeah, but that ain't gonna matter.
And breezy. Philly that stadium can get breezy a little bit. So you might want to watch the wind may be a factor. I doubt it.
Yeah.
But like Kat said, I think it's the perfect landscape for both games.
Oh, absolutely. So we're not going to have any deciding factors as far as the weather is concerned in these games. So I believe that we're in good shape here. And I'm going Vikings. You're going Philly. Yes. It's amazing how that works out where you're taking the home team underdog on primetime and I am not.
It is.
So, hey, that's what it is, brother. As far as
last time you went against me with Nick Foles, you got murdered.
I did, yes, in fantasy football a few years back. I do remember that very, very, very well, brother. So, just going through a couple of things here. As far as props are concerned, I could tell you this much, Dream. How about this one? First score, a field goal or a safety, plus 110. All day.
What is it?
Plus 110.
For what?
Field goal or a safety to be the first score.
Okay.
I'm all over that.
Okay.
That's a bigger play for me than the Vikings itself, personally. That's where I'm at as far as that's concerned. And I also like the first quarter under. If you get it to 7, it's like minus 115. So you're betting basically that there's not going to be a touchdown in the first quarter. I really, really like that as well. And if you're ballsy enough, you want to get it down to 6.5, it's plus 138. So that's probably what I'm going to do there as far as that's concerned. Looking at the rest of it here, you've got sacks. You got 4.5 sacks here. It's basically even money both sides. Guys, shop these props too, because a lot of books are off with some of these. And sometimes you can find errors, because they throw out like 300 props. And every once in a blue moon, they mess up. Dream, I had, one of the backs for the Saints. Listen to this. One of the backs for the Saints, I forgot. It wasn't Kamara. It was the other guy. They had an under-over of his receptions at 6. And he averages like 3 a game. So I was like, whoa. All right, so there was an error on the book, and I capitalized. And sure enough, the book didn't catch me doing it. So I was able to win on that one. But, guys, look for errors. I'm telling you. I mean, listen, half the time the book will catch it and cancel the wager. But if they're too busy and whoever's supposed to be in charge of that is kind of slacking off, you can capitalize a little bit. Just putting it out there. It does exist, and it's there. You just got to find it. So any player propositions here, Dream?
No, I don't have any for this particular game. I don't like any of the props. I do like like I said again, I do like if you can tease the Eagles up to plus 10. I do like that along with the Patriots. I'm kind of a fan of that. But I am probably gonna play each game separate, to be honest. I don't really want to intertwine the Patriots, and I think the Patriots can cover the spread.
All right. Sounds good, man. So that's where I'm at, guys. So as far as the props are concerned, this game with a field goal or safety plus 110 as the first score, I love it. The first game, the Pats versus the Jags, as far as the props are concerned, under 4.5 sacks is where I'm at with that game. My favorite play of the day is a teaser between the two with the New England Patriots to win the game and getting the Minnesota Vikings a plus 3.5 or 4, depending on if I do a 6.5 point tease or a 7. That's where I'm at, because there can't be a tie in the NFL in the playoffs. There can't. How does that work, Dream? Do they keep playing?
What do you mean?
Like if the overtime regulation runs out, what do they extend it?
Yeah.
What
do you mean?
What do they do? Another quarter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Keep
Yeah.
going
No.
till
I mean,
somebody scores.
because that's the thing. Because we've never been in that position before. That's what I'm asking.
No, and we probably won't be in it again. But yeah, they'll keep going until they score. Yeah.
They got to go into college rules.
Yep. No.
Start at the 30. Keep going. But all right, man. So I think that's going to do it for me, man. Where are you at? I mean, we know you're all New England Patriots.
Yes.
Let's recap where you're at, brother.
Dude, that's where I'm at.
That's it.
That's where I'm at. You're all New England Patriots. That's where I'm at. It'll be a light wager, on the Eagle game. I'm not going ham with it. It'll be light. I'm just, I may end up I may do a Patriot and leave a spot open on a money line par. I'm going to take the Patriots definitely in a money line par. I'm going to take the Patriots and most likely maybe a teaser and definitely against the spread as well. So I have three plays that I'm sure all with the Patriots on both all types of ways. And then it'll be questionable how I play the Eagle game, but most likely it will be, they'll be closing out a teaser or even in a money line parlay with the Patriots. But I love the Patriots a lot today.
All right, sounds good, man. One big plug I got to give to somebody here. There's an app called Burner. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
You could have a second or third phone number, like an anonymous phone number.
Right.
Just saying. Sick, Dream.
An app called Burner.
It's called Burner. So if you're, listen, for Anybody that's
All right,
sliding
I get it.
Yeah. There's many different. Use your imagination in many different ways on Burner app. Just gonna put it out
Don't
there.
play yourself. Just either let it go or keep it.
There's many different ways you can go with that app, dude.
Either let it go or keep it. Don't play yourself and get burned. Like your boy.
All right, guys, let's
Lose
go.
half your stuff. Trust me.
Dream, where you at?
Trying to keep it popping with half my stuff is not all that.
Dream, what you gotta do to close out, brother?
Hey, I want to thank everybody that's got involved with retweeting the show. We got Buster Carr, the incredible Marley Marr, my boy Terrence Max in the house, Fast Eddie 72, JDH 24. I see Sebastian out there. Seabass, what's going on? My man Joseph Del Rosario, always good to see him. Mr. Charlie over at Direct Sport Solution. Big shout out to Winning Picks as well. Tiger Clinch always giving out that information as far as UFC fights. A little bit's been going on with that. My boy Rick Lopez on the West Coast. Prime Time Capper. Speaking of West Coast players, my boy Cash Action Bets is out there as well. Also at Vegas Girl 92661 winner Circle. Jim Rome is a douche. Frank Finn Colada, my boy Scott Weaver. Deeks Fix, Sin City Maverick. Norbert, got to send you a shout out. Jay Gotts, Dr. Dizzle, and Jonesy, Irvin, and so many more. Gang, it's the dream. Always remember who you're with. Make the most of each and every day. And once again, if you're thinking of taking the Jacksonville Jaguars, don't.
All right, good stuff, man. Don't. You are playing Uncle Tom and Bill Belichick in Brady's house. Just saying. But listen, if the Jags win, Dream, I don't know. Might have to throw you off the show.
Throw me off.
All right, guys. Hey, listen, we love you to death. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Sunday NFC and AFC conference championships. And we'll be back for the Super Bowl in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Take care and get that money. Let's go.
All right.